Brad Williams, Frugal Finance, Medigap Insurance, your right to buy a Medigap policy. What are guaranteed issue rights? Guaranteed issue rights, or Medigap protections, are your right to buy certain Medigap policies in limited situations outside of your Medigap open enrollment period. In some situations, an insurance company must sell you a Medigap policy. Must cover all your pre-existing health conditions. Can't charge you more for a Medigap policy because of past or present health problems. If you live in Massachusetts, Minnesota, or Wisconsin, check out pages 42 to 44. When do I have a guaranteed issues right? In most cases, you have a guaranteed issue right when your other health insurance coverage changes in some way. Like if you lose your other coverage, you may also have a trial right to try a Medicare Advantage Plan, Part C, and still buy a Medigap policy if you change your mind. For information on trial rights, go to page 23. Important? The guaranteed rights issue in this section are based on federal law. These rights apply to Medigap and Medicare Select policies. You may have additional rights under state law. Medigap guaranteed issue rights situations. This information describes the most common situations under federal law where you may be able to buy a Medigap policy outside your Medigap open enrollment period, the kind of policy you can buy and when you can or must apply for it. You have additional rights under state law. Check with your state insurance department about what rights you have under state law. You have a guaranteed issue rights if you have a Medicare Advantage Plan and your plan is leaving Medicare, stops giving you care in your area, or you move out of the plan service area. You have the right to buy Medigap plans A, B, C, D, F, G, or K, or L that's sold by an insurance company in your state. You only have the right if you switch to original Medicare rather than join another Medicare Advantage Plan. You must apply for a Medigap policy 60 days before the date your Medicare Advantage Plan coverage ends. No more than 63 days after your Medicare Advantage Plan cover ends. Note, Medigap coverage can't start until your Medicare Advantage Plan coverage ends. You have original Medicare, an employer group health plan, including retiree or COBRA coverage, or union coverage that pays after Medicare pays and that plan is ending. You can buy Medigap A through F that's sold by an insurance company in your state. If you have COBRA coverage, you can either buy a Medigap policy right away or wait until your COBRA coverage ends. You must apply no more than 63 days after the latest of these three dates. Date your current coverage ends, date on the notice you get telling you that the coverage is ending, if you get one, date on a claim denial, if this is the only way you know that your coverage ended. You have original Medicare and a Medicare Select policy. You move out of the Medicare Select policy service area. Call the Medicare Select insurance company for more information about your options. You can buy Medigap plans A, B, C, D, F, G, K, or L that's sold by an insurance company in the state, and you must apply 60 days before your Medicare Select coverage ends. No more than 63 days after your Medicare Select coverage ends. Note, Plan C and F are no longer available to people new to Medicare on or after January 1st, 2020. However, if you are eligible for Medicare before January 1st, 2020, but haven't yet enrolled, you may be able to buy Plan C or F. People new to Medicare on or after January 1st, 2020 have the right to buy Plan D or G instead of Plan C or F. Trial rights. You joined a Medicare Advantage Plan or program of all-inclusive care for elderly when you were first eligible for Medicare Part A at 65, and within the first year of joining, you decide you want to switch to original Medicare. You have the right, any Medigap policy that's sold by an insurance company in your states. You must apply 60 days before your coverage ends, no more than 63 days after your coverage ends. Your rights may last for an extra 12 months under certain circumstances. You have a guaranteed issue right if you drop the Medigap policy to join Medicare Advantage Plan or to switch to a Medicare Select policy. For the first time, you've been in the plan less than a year and you want to switch back. You have the right to buy the Medigap policy you had before you joined the Medicare Advantage Plan, or the Medicare Select policy if the same insurance company you had before still sells it. You must apply 60 days before the date your coverage ends, no more than 63 days after your coverage ends. Your rights may last for an extra 12 months under certain circumstances. You have a guaranteed issue right. Your Medigap insurance company goes bankrupt and you lose your coverage, or your Medigap policy coverage ends through no fault of your own. You can buy Medigap plans A, B, C, D, F, G, K, or L that's sold by an insurance company in your state. You must apply no more than 63 days after your current Medigap coverage ends. You have a right. You leave a Medicare Advantage plan or drop a Medigap policy because the company hasn't followed the rules or it misled you. You can buy any of these programs and you must apply within 63 days after coverage ends. Can I buy a Medigap policy if I lose my health coverage? You may have a guaranteed issues right to buy a Medigap policy if you lose your health coverage. So make sure you keep copies of letters, notices, emails, or claim denials that have your name on them as proof of your coverage being terminated. The postmarked envelope these papers come in as proof of when it was mailed. You may need to include a copy of some or all of these papers with your Medigap application to prove you have guaranteed issue rights. More information about Medigap rights? If you have questions or want to learn more about Medigap rights in your state, you can call the State Health Insurance Assistance Program to make sure that you qualify for any of these guaranteed issue rights. Call your state insurance department if you're denied Medigap coverage in any of these situations. There may be times when more than one of the situations on page 22 to 23 applies to you. When this happens, you can choose the guaranteed issue right that works best for your situation. Some of the situations listed include loss of coverage under programs of all-inclusive care for elderly. PACE combines medical, social, and long-term care services and prescription drug coverage for frail older adults who need nursing home services but are capable of living in the community. To be eligible for PACE, you must meet certain conditions. PACE may be available in some states have chosen it as optional Medicare benefits. If you have Medicaid, an insurance company can sell you Medigap policy only in certain situations. To find a PACE plan in your area, visit Medicare.gov plan, etc. Comment if you have any questions as it relates to your rights to buy a Medigap policy. Brad Williams, Frugal Finance. Thanks for watching. See you soon.